like Talia and others, who are going to be able to now actually do something about it. So I think it was great. Hopefully it worked out for you guys. It worked out for us really well too. It's going to be very, very useful. So it's not just like an exercise for week one of your time here. It's actually doing something that's going to be that will see its life beyond these four walls. Okay, so what we thought we'd do is actually, it's almost unfair because all these were so good, but we thought we'd give 3 awards one for best use of insights, one for most creative idea, one for the overall presentation and just presentation skills. So we'll do that across all 10. So we'll pick those 3. We'll scatter across all 10. The first 5 for the first assignment we'll pick the overall winner, and for the second group we'll pick the overall winner there too. So we'll start with. Did I get this right? Let's start with presentation. So the one that we thought was again, I'm very impressed by how people presented. I thought really, like, you're too good. So I think we chose in the event, group 2 in the event challenge, the Pause with Pete's team. Where are you guys? Right here. We gave you. I think that's right. I think that's right. Yes. Best presentation. Really nice job. So congratulations. Excellent. Okay. So for most creative, the coffee is art group. Where are you guys? Really nice. Creative in terms of the idea, but creative also in terms of how you kind of connect the dots and ended up with that idea, and how you sought out advice from people who could help you kind of formulate the idea. Great job on that. On insights, I go to Latour de Pete's on the insights. Really good use of insights. And actually, I think the idea, and maybe you don't know it, but a lot of people, particularly in the Bay Area, people are bikers, and actually we have a ton of customers who are heavy-duty bikers who stop at Pete's to refuel all the time. So biking, you figure out we have a Pete's biking team, but the whole biking connection to Pete's, the biking the bikes connected back to the source and providing bikes for the folks in those communities. I think we tied it together really nicely, and I think you used your insights really well. Even though some of those slides were up for like a millisecond. It was like a Rorschach test. I don't know what you say. So good job. So now for group 1. Again, all really good. We think that the best overall idea, and I say it's because you guys kind of looked through the whole business and kind of connected the dots really strongly across channels. Good use of insights, creative idea. Be group 1. Group 1. You guys started off. You started off well. So it's kind of ironic. The first presentation, here's how it works, and then the last presentation, real people, real stories. You were the second group. And great job, guys. I think the big thing is you guys basically, there were great ideas all around, but what both the first group did, the very first group and the very last group, is that you guys actually delivered against the strategy. You delivered against the assignment perfectly. You hit everything that we were looking for, and you both kept it fairly simple too. And I think that's really important as well. So congratulations, everybody. Great job.
And thank you for being here.
No, it's our pleasure. Thank you.
I was just going to say we'd love to get a group photo.
Yeah, we did. Actually, before I thought if we could just talk, how are we doing on time?
As much time as you want.
Just like, no, just a few minutes. So I thought if you guys have if you want to talk about anything about, it could be pizza, it could be well beyond pizza, it could be about, what it's like to be old and be in the machine. Whatever you want to.
Dave was on our leadership panel 2 years ago,
Yes.
I want to say, and shared a ton of awesome insights about leadership, his career path, and life college and how that transforms where he's at, so feel
Just-
free to ask.
I get some good personal questions on that panel.
Yeah, some good answers.
Yeah.
Well, I realize we never got to introduce you, so that might be
Oh,
helpful.
that's
for
okay, you had it
people
up there, just, well, go
to
ahead.
know
Okay.
about your background, maybe, to ask you
Okay.
questions.
Why don't you introduce me then, yeah?
Okay, well, Will and I
All right,
were
both
gonna
together,
do
both together, all
it
right.
together. Should we come up first and-
All right.
Well, Dave graduated from MiddCORE College, and
You guys heard of it?
he majored in history, and then he went on to Harvard Business School.
After Harvard, he took some GM positions as well as he was the chief marketing officer for Pepsi. He then was the president at Weight Watchers for 3 years, and after that, he is now the CEO of Pete's. So,
Which means I do absolutely nothing. Pretty much. But, no, but I'm glad to be here, and I tell you, like, when I was in Middlebury and I graduated in '83, I mean, there was no, this program wasn't even close to even being conceived, and it was, you know, and Middlebury had 1,800 students, not whatever, 2,500, wherever you guys are at now. Still had a nice campus, and really nice people, but also very, pretty homogeneous, I'd say, and kind of, it was a great place. I enjoyed it. I played lacrosse for a couple of years, then I backed out and went to Scotland for my junior year. At that point, actually, everybody was forced out your junior year, like pretty much. If you were going to continue to play sports, you went a half a year, and if you weren't, you went a whole year because they couldn't even, they weren't even make dorm rooms. So and I think that was actually a really good experience for me to do that. Now it's like it's like a country club. It's got it's beautiful, and I think importantly, I think it's a good. It's just I'd say it's even a better dynamic because again, when I was here, I grew up in Massachusetts, Central Massachusetts, in Worcester, and went to a Catholic high school. Most of the kids, you know, all went to prep school. So all went to prep school. There's nothing wrong with that, but when it's all the way to prep school, like you kind of get tired of that. So, and I think what Middlebury did really consciously is actually John McCardle, who was the president, who was my thesis advisor. Didn't like me very much, but that's a separate story for different reasons. But he did a phenomenal job as president of the university. You know, Ron was followed him, but there was somebody in between really quickly. I can't remember. But
No.
It was Ron. We're trying to Ron.
Yeah.
But it was like an amazing job, kind of just really taking Middlebury, which was a really very good school, and turned into like a great school, and really attracting the faculty, the professors, more students. I think 2,500, whatever the number is like a much better number, honestly, to get the right mix of people. It's more diverse. It's more it's more international. It's more a little bit more of everything. It's not just just a jock school. It's a lot more than that. And I think that's really important. I think, and I've run into a lot of Middlebury grads over the last 10 years, and it's really impressive. You guys are great. So you guys, so my big message to you is, and I know not everybody here goes to Middlebury, I get that, so throw the NESCAC people and other places all over. But everybody here, you guys have been presented with a great opportunity to do this program and to be at the schools that you're at. So my only advice is just take advantage of that, because there's actually a good quote here. I think it was a Jeff Bezos quote, you don't find your passion, passions find you, and that's sort of true. And I really agree with that. So it's really hard to plot out. You're not going to plot out your career, your life. It's just going to happen. It's going to come to you. And obviously you're going to make decisions to put yourself in certain situations. And my only advice is just take advantage of those opportunities, because you guys are really, really lucky. You're really lucky. And your parents, I'm still trying. We have 4 kids. Actually, I couldn't get anyone to go to Middlebury, but one went to Davidson, one went to Amherst, played soccer. All she wanted to do was beat Middlebury. No, she could really bad. And then another one's going to GW in the fall, and then a 4th one who we have to get rid of because he's driving us crazy. He's going to be a junior next year, and he's ready. He wants to go to New England Prep School right now. He wants that. But I think we're trying to, honestly, I don't think we've done a really good job fully explaining to them, making them understand. Because parents of our generation are really bad. We're really bad parents because we just totally cater to, we're living our lives to our kids, and we're catering to everybody, and we want their lives to be perfect. We want to create a bubble around them and make everything easy. And sometimes we do that too much, but I think you should be really appreciative of what you got, because there are a lot of people that don't. In this country that we live in, there are a lot of people that don't have the opportunities. And So just take it, so the best thing to do when giving it, I mean, help other people along the way, if you can. And actually, I have my son, he just graduated from high school, he's going to GW, he went to school in Oakland called College Prep, it's a private school where just like crazy, smart kids. He didn't totally fit in. But the guy who spoke was a guy who was an alum, the guy at the graduation was an alum. You know, you guys go through, listen to all these graduation speeches and they're all become like white noise, but he was really good. He grew up in Oakland, African-American guy, single parent. Actually, in fact, both his parents were drug addicted. He ended up being raised by his grandmother. Somehow he made it to college prep, which is not easy. Then he went off to Howard University, and he had a very successful career. And I think his whole point was just to help people. You got to help people along the way. Your obligation is to help people, and your advantage, you should be helping others. So, just something to think about. But in the short term, just have fun. Because you should have fun and make the most out of this opportunity.
Yeah. So my name is Tahoe, and I have a question. It's more like an inquiry that I have. And how is it that how can big companies or just companies in general that like trust partners, other partners like Tahoe or the fair trade stamp, for instance, ensure that such verification programs are actually indeed taking care. For instance, I'm thinking about Pete's values.
Yep.
And how, in terms of community, Pete's wants to take care of people. And I'm thinking about people in coffee fields, and I don't know where I come from. There is this co-op, and we sell our coffee as very fair trade and organic and everything. And we have the stamp for fair trade. But when you go out to the fields, in fact, there are so many kids working in the fields under horrible conditions. There's a lot of indigenous women and men exploitation. There's tons of rape against indigenous women and Nicaraguans. And so I'm wondering, how can we ensure that these stamps actually mean something and it's not just like, here, my coffee says it's fair trade and therefore it's good?
It's a good question. It's a really good question. I think, because what you're doing essentially, even what the coffee roasters are doing is they're kind of buying, and they're presuming that if it says fair trade or whatever the certification is, that there are things that are happening behind that they're standing behind those certifications, those organizations. And those organizations are all well intentioned and do the best they can, but they don't, like we know, the fair trade thing, I mean, we know that they don't have a good sense of what's going on really. I mean, they do and they don't. It's really hard to too. There's like, whatever, there's 10 million coffee farmers out there, growers, and it's really hard to do that. Which is why we're doing the TechnoSurf thing, honestly, because we do like Rainforest Alliance, all this stuff, it's all good. By the way, you pay a lot of money for that. Like Rainforest Alliance, like another 10 cents a pound. At least we can spend less than that and be much closer to what's actually happening and not relying on, because essentially you're co-branding your brand with somebody else who is standing behind something. And again, a lot of things are good, but if you have that question, you should actually reach out to those organizations if you really care about it, particularly coming from Costa Rica. You should reach out